7:35. Happy Thursday to you. Looking forward to chat with Brandon Glover of Ivy Creek Pools and Spas. We had a chance to, Pools and Patios, excuse me. We've had a chance to chat with Brandon.
Yes.
And phenomenal ability to create some of the most beautiful oases you could possibly have.
Absolutely.
Right there in your own backyard. And so we'll have the opportunity to chat with Brandon. And I'm looking forward to that. Ivy Creek Pools and Patios. You could do the colors, you could do the shooting of the fountains, you could do all kinds of things with it if you're looking for
and
that.
Now's the time, right? Because
it really is.
In the off season is when you want to be building these things, these outdoor oases. I don't know the plural of oasis, but
oases.
But yeah, now's the time to do it because nobody's going to really be spending a lot of time outdoors in the fall and winter, and so you get it done, and then by the time summertime gets here, you're ready to have a good time.
Because it takes definitely a couple of months, I'd say, probably to build a pool and a spa, but doesn't, it's a process. You want somebody who knows what they're doing, and the team at Ivy Creek Pools and Patios, they definitely do. Brandon joins us this morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are y'all?
Doing well.
Great
Are
to
you
see you
in
again.
like some spa-like area right now? You look like you're ready for the pool at all
very
times.
zen.
I'm just in our office right near the stadium uptown.
So Ivy Creek Pools and Patios, for those that don't know your story, Brandon, how did you get started deciding that you wanted to build luxury amenity pools for folks?
Yeah, so it started from the bottom up. I went to UNC Charlotte. That's what brought me to Charlotte. I'm originally from Raleigh. And towards the end of my undergraduate, I just, was a college kid that needed money. And a buddy who actually had a small landscape company. And so I asked him if he needed some help, jumped in, started kind of like part-time helping him making some cash, got an idea of the business. And really where it started was I bought what was called a Stihl Farm Boss chainsaw with the money that I made from working with him. I borrowed my dad's old trailer, and I just started to post on Nextdoor. I said, hey, I'm a college kid. I can do X, Y, and Z. Like, what does everybody need? And so from there, it went into Ivy Creek Landscaping, where we started jumping into residential maintenance, small installs. Then it shifted to commercial maintenance, including commercial installs. We changed the landscapes, started to drop off the residential maintenance side and really start to hone in on the landscape installation side. And then we started getting to pools, and we started to focus away from maintenance, focus only on the installation, and then zone in on the high end, specifically in relation to pools. That's when we changed our name to Ivy Creek Pools and Patios, and we've just been dialed in ever since.
What a journey, a phenomenal journey, and it's a process even to build a pool, right? So when you go to somebody, I imagine you meet with them in the yard. Do you lay it all out and like kind of show them what the dream can be, you and your team?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, what we'll do is when you reach out, our office will call you typically, if not that exact same day, by the very next day. And then one of our sales professionals will also give you a shout. Like, we'll book a consultation immediately. They'll give you a call just to like go ahead and pre-connect. And actually, if you have your survey, you can go ahead and send it to us. And then during that call, we can go ahead and start giving you some information based off of what we see from the survey. If you send us any photos, say, hey, this is what you can do, and really listen to what you guys are wanting from like a function standpoint. We're function first. And so ultimately what you want to get out of the backyard is what we're going to give you. And then we obviously, from our professional knowledge, understand like what our limits and capabilities are with the backyard that you have. And then once we go out and go into the consultation, right after that, we'll immediately jump into design. And that's the really cool part, right? Because that's when our designer can come in, do a full backyard layout. So an overhead, like architectural style plans, but most importantly, from a visual standpoint, we do 3D imaging and fly throughs. So we can actually like take a camera, like we're in your backyard, and fly through the backyard. We'll have people back there, we'll have cars in the driveway. We could even have hot dogs on the grill that's out there. So you can really understand and see what it would look like if we were to build this space in your backyard.
I imagine with HGTV nowadays too,
Oh, yes.
Everyone's got ideas. You know what I mean? Everyone comes, she's like, I want the putt-putt with the bridge underneath, flowing to the swim
Exactly.
up bar.
The cave and the waterfall and all the things.
Yeah.
So when someone tells you some kind of treasure map vision like this, how do you guys internally, how do you start processing and sourcing? Because it's not magic, right? You got to find the team, you got to find the materials, and y'all do that with passion each and every project. Walk us through the internal side of it.
Yeah, 1,000%. So we it just takes a lot of communication, man, and going through hundreds and hundreds of projects. The key truly is the design aspect of it. It's very we try to put heavy intention on the upfront planning because that ultimately creates a really smooth construction process. And so internally, what we do is once we go through the design and we come together with something that you as a client really like, really enjoy, and you're ready to move forward on, we button it up, and to your point, we jump into finalization of material selection. So we have a design center that we partner with off of Westinghouse Boulevard, and you can see all your pool plaster options, your tile options, your decking options, your coping options. We'll also give you recommendations. We have brochures we can start looking through. And so that way we can start dialing that in. And then once you do have some selections that you want, and again, we can always make recommendations. We'll take those, we'll put those in the design so you can visually see those in the backyard. And then once we confirm the materials, then we have internal meetings, right? So internally, once the design is complete, materials are selected, then operations or our project management and the sales and the design team will meet in person in our office here. We'll pull it up on the big screen and we'll even print out the plans and we'll run through it together to make sure everybody's on the same page. So it is a very smooth transfer and handoff to our operations team to take care of you.
Communication is very key.
Yes.
Brandon, I like swimming in pools. I also like eating cheeseburgers. It is Ivy Creek Pools and Patios. I imagine that having fun grill side action happening is also a must in a lot of instances. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, very, very key. I'd say, like I said, we're function first. So typically when you got these pool patio spaces, you'll have, you want a spot for lounging, for lounge chairs. And then this is kind of what I go through with clients, right? Like the functional areas and pieces that are part of a whole outdoor living project. You'll have your lounging sections. You'll have the very next thing is your dining and your eating section, right? So there's space for either you'll have a grill and a smoker or we'll build a full outdoor kitchen for you. And obviously you need a space for a table to help with the plating and also obviously the eating. And so that is really typically space number two. And right next to that, very in line, if not number three, would be like your fire pits and your fireplaces sections. Those are really the top three areas in a good outdoor living space.
Well, after the cheeseburgers is definitely the s'mores. That's for sure. One of the things, one of the things in the building process is cleanliness, right? Because if you've got neighbors, if you've got an HOA, if you've got some rules that you got to follow, inevitably the neighbors get curious when the backhoe starts driving toward the backyard, cutting through their side yard. So working with HOAs, working with those like that need to, keep a clean and tidy area through a massive project. What's y'all's team's take on that?
Yeah, again, I kind of lean it back to communication, right? Just connecting with your neighbors, making sure they're aware of what's going on, making sure they're linked up and they know what's going on. Typically, our project managers, they'll go and they'll knock on the doors, right? And just say, hey, introduce themselves, give the phone numbers, say, if you ever need anything, if something's ever in your way, please let us know. We want to make it smooth for the clients. We want to make it smooth for you. And that obviously includes your neighbors, right? That's a big part of it. And especially your neighborhood. So when we do our walkthrough, we do pre-con walkthrough before we start any project. A big part of what the HOA would say something, or from what the neighbor would say something to you, would be like your material drop-off locations. And so we want to make sure to mark that, specifically know what the best spot is, let you know as a client exactly like where we're going to put it, and make sure it's out of the way from everybody so your HOA doesn't come knocking on your door. Your neighbors are happy and up to date with what's going on. And again, it creates a really clean, smooth process.
Brandon Glover, Ivy Creek Pools and Patios, ivycreekpools.com. If you're looking for a team that understands that it's about quality, you're looking for a quality project, you're only going to do one, maybe two in your lifetime, right? If you ever even do one. And so you want a team that knows what they're doing and has that creative vision and also that ability to communicate and be efficient with it. Brandon, we so appreciate you for coming by and sharing your story with us.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all.